Do you ever wish that you could travel back in time? Well, this weekend, that's what I did. Hi, welcome to another video with me. I'm so happy to be here. Welcome to the Felisa Lifestyle and Success Space. If you have not yet subscribed, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well, and go ahead and share this video. And of course, let me know if you have any comments, any more videos that you want to see more of. Let me know. It's very windy, very hot. It's like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit where I'm at right now. Very hot. So what did I do this weekend? So this weekend I traveled back in time, right? Went on a flight at 8. What time was the flight? Well, the flight was supposed to be 8:30, but ended up leaving 7:30. Ended up leaving at 8:30, and it was a 5-hour flight, and by the time I got to my destination on the other side, it was like 10 o'clock. So there I was, 3 hours time difference. So there has been an interesting journey. I'm here where everybody else is 3 hours different. So it's been interesting, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it's like to travel back in time, traveling across time zones. It's not my first time traveling into this time zone, but this one was just pretty interesting, trying to get my body used to it. And traveling now, especially while pregnant, let me tell you, taking a plane while pregnant is not for the weak. I got a window seat because I like to be in the window. I like to take pictures, like to do videos. But this time, as a pregnant woman, the amount of time you want to go to the restroom, it's no joke. But I said, you know what, I timed myself and did a reasonable amount of time, or number of times, especially that time at the window. But I know that's something that you aren't supposed to do, because that can be very dangerous. So this has been an interesting week. The last time I told you that I was working and running a business while pregnant and also studying, but since that, I'm no longer doing that job because I realized that where I'm at right now, it's not conducive to everything that I'm doing. And to be honest, I'm just an entrepreneur at heart. I love doing entrepreneurship. I love being a business owner. I love running my own businesses. There's just some satisfaction about that. And I won't compromise on certain values, certain things that I hold dear. So yes, I was doing it, but I'm no longer doing it. So here I am, right? And doing these videos just to connect with you, sharing along this journey. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'm here to really connect with you along this journey. So one thing I've noticed since being pregnant is every pregnant person has a different experience, from different symptoms to just a whole different experience. But one thing I'm noticing is that the healthcare being in another country is so different for persons being in Jamaica, right? So when I found out I was pregnant first, I had headache. That was my symptom, like terrible headaches. And I wanted to go into the doctor, but you can't just go into the doctor like that. You have to set appointments, and getting appointments, that's not easy at all. So finally got this appointment, or at least went to the urgent care. That's the only place, either urgent care or the emergency room, where you can just show up without appointment. So here I was going in to the urgent care. The urgent care, once I mentioned that I am pregnant because I had just found out, I am now being told that, they can't really treat the headache anymore. I have to go to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room, and you don't want to see the cost of those expenses. We're talking like thousands of dollars for this visit to the emergency room, where they did a few scans. Well, what did I do? I probably end up doing my first ultrasound and finding out that I was 6 weeks pregnant at that time. But I had just found out like 2 days before via pregnancy test. That I decided to do only because I was planning to go to the doctor, and I know one question that they will ask me is, when was my last period? And I had missed my period for a month, but I know that with irregular periods, with PCOS, missing my period is pretty normal, so I wasn't worried about that any at all. And did the test, having a positive pregnant result. I'm like, okay, here I am. So ultrasound said I was already 6 weeks along, and that's when my life started changing. Everything is shifting. Of course, I was very happy, very, very, very grateful to be on that journey. So after that, I was finished with the emergency room, and I'm being told that, all right, now I need to find a OBGYN. And I'm like, where do I start? I'm not even in my country. I don't know much about the health system here, but thankfully I was able to navigate and found an office and schedule it. There was no appointment until like 1 month in. So that's what I'm talking about, like the wait times. You know how in Jamaica we just go in, there's probably wait time every week, every day if you want to. So schedule it. And when I went in, I didn't really get to see an OBGYN that time. What they did was my first official ultrasound, which confirmed by then that I was 8 weeks in. So here I was 8 weeks in, and I think I spoke to a nurse or a midwife, someone who just told me, you know, what to do, get ready, did an assessment, emotional assessment, asked me if I have cats, because I was learning that cats can be very dangerous to pregnant women, you know, in terms of the bacteria that can be in their feces. And I'm actually living with a cat, so I got very scared for a moment, but thankfully I did that test and it was okay. How many of you knew that, you know, that's something that can be very dangerous to a pregnant woman's health, and also like young babies? So there I was, finally getting my first OBGYN experience. And then, well, it wasn't the OBGYN, it was what you call this now, the place that would be taking care of the pregnant woman, the office, right? I think it was a woman's care office or care for a pregnant woman. Then of course that visit wasn't cheap either. That's what I'm learning. There's nothing in healthcare that is cheap. There's nothing free, there's nothing cheap, right? And then here I was, few weeks after being scheduled, well actually it was for a month later, being scheduled for my first OBGYN appointment, where I would actually get to talk to someone about the experience. And I'm here thinking that every visit we're going to get at least an ultrasound. No, I never did an ultrasound after that 8 weeks until now. I'm back in second trimester, and I had to do the ultrasound test, well, the ultrasound at a different location, because they just wouldn't do anymore, and I'm learning that's normal, right? So the experience has been different. My colleague, well, my friends in Jamaica, when we talk, they tell me every visit they get an ultrasound. Not for me. When we go, they'll use the Doppler machine to listen for the baby's heartbeat, and they tell me that, hey, if we don't hear the baby's heartbeat, then that's when we will do an ultrasound. But if we hear the baby's heartbeat, then no. I couldn't understand it, so I had to do more research. So if anybody's here and had that experience, let me know. But I found out that they have a policy where they want to do as low an exposure as possible, so they don't want to expose you. Even though ultrasound, it is pretty safe, you know, it's not harmful to the baby or anything, they still want to ensure that you have a low exposure. So that happened, and how I was supposed to find out the baby's gender was through the NIPT test, or NIP. I call it NIPT, everybody else call it something different. The NIPT test, and I'm here thinking that that's common, every country does that. When I ask my friends in Jamaica who have been pregnant, they don't really do that either, right? But here the NIPT test is a big thing, where it's basically a non-invasive test that you do to, well, a blood test. So they take your blood and they're looking for samples of the baby's DNA to do a genetic testing to see, all right, how is the baby's genes, do they have the likelihood of having like Down syndrome and other genetic defects. And then from there, women are able to make a decision as to what they want to do, right, as it relates to that. And if they're to get genetic counseling, then that's something that they can do, right? Now I did my first NIPT test, and here I was excited because that's how I was going to learn the baby's gender. Yes, pretty noisy outside because I'm deciding to do these videos outside to get that outdoor feel, even though it's very very hot, right? But definitely next videos I'll use a microphone so that the sound can be better. But you can let me know if you like these outdoor videos, you know, if they make a difference. So here I was, did my first NIPT test. I didn't really care about the genetic results. because regardless of what it says, I'm just happy for my baby. I'm gonna love my baby just the same. But I just wanted to know like the gender of my baby. So I did my first one at about 10 weeks. 10, was it 10? 10 or 11 weeks, right? And actually they wanted to do it earlier, but I was going to Jamaica for a trip, so I told them I wasn't gonna be there that week. Give me another week. So I came back from Jamaica, did the test, and I'm excited about the results. I did other tests. I'm getting every other result, but not about the genetic testing with my baby's gender. And then I finally got an update. The test didn't go through, or they couldn't do the test because of low fetal fraction. So I had to do it over in either 2 weeks or my next appointment, which was 1 month away, because all the appointments are 1 month away so far. So I was like, I had just started my new job, so I'm like, I already had problems getting that time off already for my first appointment, so no, I'm going to wait until it's the next time to do the test. So I waited 1 month and went back, excited that yes, I'm gonna get the results now. I was actually worried, I'm wondering is something wrong, but then I read up and realized that it could be normal. It could be other challenges that cause low fetal fraction, and it's okay testing again. And fast forward, I tested again, and of course no results. No results. They couldn't do the test a second time, and that's when they said, you know what, we're gonna send you to like the high risk, what is that, the high risk OBGYN. And I'm like, you know what, I don't mind going to the high risk OBGYN, especially as someone pregnant with PCOS, but I feel my baby in my tummy every day. I don't know the baby's gender. I don't remember or know what the baby looks like anymore, because the last test was weeks away, right? 8 weeks, and I'm far in second trimester. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna do an elective ultrasound to at least see the baby, know the gender, and then we'll figure that part out. So I opted to do the elective ultrasound, and there was baby, very active, very healthy, moving around. And I'm like, wow, here I was worrying, overwhelmed that something could be wrong, especially being in my position. I was worried, overwhelmed, stressing about it. But as I looked, and I'm just praying every day for my baby to be okay and everything. But if I follow all these results, then I just get overwhelmed and worked up about it. I read that it can be normal. I read that it can mean something. But I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving it into God's hand. God has a plan for this child. That's why God gave me this child at this time. So I'm leaving all of that in His hands, right? And I want you to help me do the same. So I prayed. I was happy. Saw a healthy looking baby, right? And still didn't proceed with that part. But I do have an appointment coming up sometime soon. Oh, I actually forgot the date. Yeah, sometime soon, maybe in a week or two. So we're gonna see what happened there. It's almost time for my anatomy scan. So, and that's something they do once you're mid-pregnancy. They'll do an anatomy scan to see if everything is okay with the baby, look at all the baby's body parts, organs, to make sure they are developing well, right? So pregnancy can be such a volatile, tricky, crazy, fragile experience. Like as women, we are persons being pregnant, we go through so much, right? We go through so much that is not talked about. Yes, it's all glitz and glams and it's beautiful, the baby shower, the gender reveal, those are the beautiful parts. But I want to see the persons who are talking about the real journey, the real headache. Yes, we know the morning sickness, the nausea, the vomiting, all of that, we know that. But the other things that come with the experience, oh my gosh, it is something. It is just something to feel like your body doesn't even feel like yours anymore. Like I haven't really felt like myself since I have become pregnant. Not in a bad way, but it's just like your body is changing so much. And that's what I hear mom saying. So it's just an honorary experience to go through. And I decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna share it with you too, because I was worried, especially after those NIPT results when they're telling me low fetal fraction. I was losing it. And what comforted me was finding other videos, you know, and especially with other things that I mentioned before with anemia, well, sickle cell anemia trait, low iron deficiency, all the things that I'm finding out. But I know God is in control, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to remain healthy. Yesterday, after traveling back in time, right, I had more time on my day. So when it was say 4 o'clock where I am, it's 7 o'clock in other parts of the world. So I had more hours in the day. So what did I do? I did over 14,000 steps walking through the entire city. And that was an experience. Of course, made it tired, like so tired, but we're here for a project trying to get some filming done, you know, for a movie, and we're just so excited for this opportunity, this experience with my babies as they go through this experience, you know, of filming, and hoping everything will be done right. We're just leaving it all into God's hands. So thank you so much for being here. I'm Felisa, and I'm here to share with you. If you have questions, let me know, put it in the comments, right? And definitely leave a comment, a supportive comment. Let me know how you feel. Leave an encouraging word, because it does help, you know, even though we look like we have it all together. Let me tell you, motivation goes a long way, like an encouraging word. And I'll try to do the same. I want to do more videos encouraging you, whatever journey you're on, whether it's working, entrepreneurship, motherhood, whatever it is, pregnancy, trying to conceive, all of those things. I want to let you know that God has it in his hands. Whatever he has for you will be for you, as Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, says the Lord, plans to give you hope and a future. So God has a plan for us. He wants to make us better. If we want something, we should ask him for it. And of course, if it's in accordance to his will, his blessings, direction for our life, he will grant it for us. And ask, don't be afraid to ask. It's either he's gonna say yes, he's gonna say no, that's not the plan I have for you, I have something better, or no, it's not really time yet, but soon. Yeah. So that's it for this video. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. I'm out of breath because outside, as me tell you, it's hot, and all the other things that you already know that cause me to breathe so heavy at times. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let me know what more you want to see. I'm sharing little clips about the pregnancy journey, the experience, traveling. I did a whole video, but man, to put them together, editing is not really my strength. So there's also that. Right, so thank you all for being here. I wish you an amazing week, and remember to put God first in everything that you do. You're already a winner. You're already a success story. Remember to subscribe.